Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Passim Streams, the live streaming series of concerts set through Club Passim. My name is Matt Smith. I'm from Club Passim. Not from Club Passim right now. I'm in my apartment in Somerville. But it feels like Club Passim in a way because we've got a great show that is going to be happening here. I just entered another dimension for a moment. That was really interesting. So what I want to tell you about is everything that we've got going on at Passim and through Passim these days. As you may know, Passim has been a nonprofit organization for the past 25 years, but the venue has been around in Harvard Square for over 60 years. And we are thrilled to be presenting music to you all through the internet right now because it is the only safe way that we can do it. We've moved all of our programming online, including the music school. We've got BCM Fest, our Celtic Festival, happening online in January. We'll be awarding $40,000 to our Iguana Music Fund at the end of this year. Some of our outreach programs have gone online as well. And through our Passim Emergency Artist Relief Fund, we have collected and distributed over $146,000 to artists in need. Now, we do all of this with the help of folks like you, not just tuning in, but by considering making a donation. To make a donation to this concert, with these proceeds will be split between us and the artists. Go to passim.org/stream. We're asking for a $20 donation for tonight's concert. However, any amount is helpful. If you can afford $1, if you can't afford anything, we still want you here watching, but we also want you to share the link. So click on whatever wherever you're watching. If you're watching on Facebook, it's very easy to click the share link. But if you're on YouTube and you want to just copy and paste that and put it into another window and share this with all of your folks that are tuning in, we can really get the word out. We've got a bunch of you folks tuned in right now. We are streaming live on our website at passim.org/stream. We're also on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, on Periscope, and on Gig Window. We're not on Gig Window tonight. I'm completely wrong about that. We are on Twitch and Periscope, though. So if you know what those are, let people know that we are both Twitching and Periscoping. Throughout the end of the year, we are doing our year-end fund drive here, and that is called Passim Persists. It has been what we've been doing for the past 9 months now, persisting here online. We have taken the whole operation and put it on our website, and we're upgrading our streaming equipment for the club so that when we're doing streaming shows from the club, it's going to look better, it's going to sound better, it's going to feel better, and that will go on once we're actually reopened again. And we've got a new streaming computer at the club. We're doing a live stream at the club tomorrow at 6 p.m. with Sawari. So tune in for that as well. We've got a full December schedule coming up with a lot of your favorite acts, as many as we can for our usual traditions. But we are thrilled to bring one of our annual traditions here, right here. This is, I think, the 400th year in a row that we have had the annual meeting of the Bigfoot Research Organization, including Dr. Lloyd Thayer. We've got Dr. Lloyd Thayer here in an undisclosed location in a bunker somewhere. Could be Massachusetts, could be Russia. We're not actually sure, but I think he might actually be on the moon.
Good morning, America. How are you? Don't you know me? I'm your native son.
Indeed. I think you're going to owe someone money for saying that.
Okay.
We've also got
Sorry.
Dr. Dave Dersham. Dave Dersham with his Bumble there. Little reference. I think Dave is in a NERFA hotel room. He's been at NERFA since 2019. He never got out.
They wouldn't let me out.
Well, it's. I hope that you're still getting meals anyway. You know, and you're not having to forage in the hotel.
He helps me. He's good.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we've also got Dr. Rob Lawrence, who is in a haunted mansion. and who some have said is a haunted mansion.
Yes, that's right. Or a woman
That's
shun.
man shun.
Exactly.
You're a haunted man, shunned.
Shundon Johnson.
Shun Manfred Jensen. Well, I am, as always, honored to be here for this show. It is one of my favorite shows of the year. We've got a lot of folks tuned in that are very excited to see what you all have in store for us in the. Has it been a particularly high sighting year with the pandemic?
We're about to find out.
Well, all right. I will leave it to you. Instead of asking questions, I'm going to sit back and learn.
Okay.
Take it away,
Here we
Dr.
go.
Lawrence.
All right. Well, welcome again, everybody, to the annual meeting of the Bigfoot Research Organization. Coming to you from a remote viewing expedition. As you can see, we're very glad to be here. Thank you again for having us. And as Matt said, we thought we would kick it right off here and ground ourselves in the primary subject of study that we have. Of course, this is Bigfoot, as seen from the infamous now Bluff Creek, California video filmed by Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin on October 20th, 1967. Other names for Bigfoot that you may or may not be familiar with, of course, there's Sasquatch. It's coming very much into the general parlance. But there's also Skookum, a Native American term, referencing the smell, particularly. The scientific name is Gigantopithecus blacki. That is the cryptozoologist estimation of the taxonomy of this particular species. And then there's Patty. This particular Bigfoot in particular is named Patty after the Patterson-Gimlin film. All right, well, 2020 sightings of Bigfoot. It's been kind of an interesting year. Altogether, there were 538 sightings in all states, throughout the United States, which is, unusual, let's say the least. Now, unfortunately, there were 232 hoaxes, but 306 sightings of these 538 were verified. So there's really only one conclusion that we've all come to realize, and that, quite simply, is bye, Don. And to celebrate this particular sighting extravaganza, I thought I would do you a new song here that I wrote specifically for the occasion. You just sit there, lying in the sun, getting in the way and making work for everyone. You're just a mean old rotten old stump in the middle of the yard. You're just a mean old rotten old stump, just making things too hard. Termites have eaten through you, carpenter and stew. The lawn around you's long died off, even dogs won't piss on you. You're just a mean old, rotten old stump. Your roots ain't deep at all. Just a mean and rotten old stump, gonna rip you out this fall. Gonna go and get my hatchet, my hammer and my wedge. Gonna chop you into tiny bits with the swinging of my sledge. You're just a mean old rotten old stump. I've had enough of you. You're just a mean old misbegotten stump. Your stumping days are through. Well, why gotta be be so stubborn? Why gotta be so mean? Why gotta be so full of bull? Why you so obscene? You're just a mean old green and moldy stump. Everything you say's just wrong. You're just a mean old demeaning scolding stump. You've gone on too long. Stupid is as stupid does. There's lots of truth in that. Stupid is as stupid does. That should be what's on your hat. You're just a dumb, dumb, dumb old stump. Can't believe how dumb you are. You're just a dumb and dumber old stump. Gonna cover your hole in tar. Yeah, you just sit there lying to everyone with your grating, bloviating. That's it, enough, I'm done. You're just an aging, raging, children caging stump. Your time at last has come. You're just a blaming, lame old loser of a stump. Just listen to the chipper hum. Here we go. Bye, Don. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Very satisfying.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm next. I wrote this song last fall after the fires in California predominantly were consuming that region. And this summer, Molly and I were riding a train across northern California into Oregon, and we saw the first plumes of smoke. And by the time I got to Eugene, which is where I was born, interestingly, in 1967, same year of the Patterson-Gimlin film.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very
67.
nice.
That's when I was born.
Yeah,
So anyway,
makes sense.
Eugene was almost unrecognizable through the smoke. So anyway, this song is about what's happening to the landscape. Holly tumbled out as wobble wide, forest on fire, draped in flame, nipping at his heels. The heat, the magnified. Flew around a wide-eyed Viria, foraging for a weather vane, placed a nest, and even keel, even a spit, even a spit of rain. How they reached the break, it turned toward a pale mustard sky. Particles of memories, they landed all around. They landed around his eyes. We used to live in limestone, gathering around the light. Now we burn just about everything. The heat, the heat, the heat, the magnifier.
Wow, that's beautiful, Dave. That's beautiful. Really is.
Yeah, it's still
Really
new,
love it.
but thank you.
Yeah. What tuning are you in?
Baritone uke.
Baritone.
No, it's just standard tuning.
Very nice. Yes. No, it sounds great. It really does.
Hello.
Oh, there he is.
There I am. I just want to make sure I can be heard. I'm going to take my headphones off now, so
Okay.
if you have anything to say to me, say it now.
I miss you.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Yeah. It's great to see you, Louis.
All right. Hi, boys and girls. I'm Jimmy Carl Black, and I'm the Indian of the group. It's a privilege to be here. Wait a minute, I'm at home. I guess it's a privilege to be at home. It's a privilege
Always.
to be alive. It's a privilege to hear my two dear friends, Rob Lawrence and what is your name again?
Dave. Dave.
And they're great songs. And I'm going to play a song now. Today's a very special day, as my friend John would say. I'm going to play a song from this record, which you can move up close to your screen. This is We're Only In It For The Money by Frank Zappa, back with Lumpy Gravy on CD,
Very nice.
which was supposed to come out in 1967. They had some legal hang-ups getting the cover out. But the reason today is a very special day is the most recent Frank Zappa documentary was released today. I'm sorry, yesterday. Yeah, it's been out a whole day. I've watched it 2.5 times so far. It's a little over 2 hours long, and it's definitely worth your while. So I'm going to play a song. I'd like to send this out to Diva, Ahmet, Dweezil, and Moon. I love you guys very much, and I hope you can work it out. The mother's a hooker somewhere in L.A. The idiot bastard son abandoned to perish in back of a car. Kenny will stash him away in a jar. The idiot boy covered in green. All the time he would spend at the church he'd attend, warming his pew. Kenny will feed him and Ronnie will watch. The child will thrive and grow and enter the world of liars and cheaters and people like you, who smile and think you know what this is about. You think you know everything. You think you know everything. You think you know everything. Maybe so. The songs we sing, do you know? We're listening. Try and imagine a window all covered in green. All the time he would spend, all the colors he'd blend. Where are they now?
Excellent. Excellent.
Thank
Nice
you.
job, Lloyd.
Channeling some George Harrison with the melodies, even. Of course, the sitar, but well, it's not sitar, I know, but it has that quality. Yep.
All right. Well, cool. Let's, speaking of the great outdoors, thought maybe we'd move on a little bit here in the presentation and talk a little bit about Teddy Roosevelt, most particularly the firearms years. So, people are very familiar with Teddy Roosevelt as a Rough Rider. Here he is in his famous garb there. You may even be familiar with his exploits as a hunter. In fact, here's the cover of his book, which is full of photos of him and his gun. Here's one of them. And here's another photo of Teddy with his gun. And oh yeah, then here's a photo of Teddy with his gun after bagging the last leopard in Madagascar. And then here he is after bagging the last white rhino in the African continent. And then here he is with his gun after bagging the last triceratops on Earth. And then, I wanted to include this picture here. Here he is visiting Yosemite National Park, and he's about to push John Muir off the cliff. That's kind of what this is all about. But what you may not know is that he is also a stalker of Bigfoot, which has been put forth by Gainsey Young in his new book, Sasquatch Hunter. And this book also contains some provocative photos. Here's that famous shot of TR out on the trail hunting in the Olympic Peninsula. And a recent rediscovery of the original negative of this photo shows that, yes, indeed, TR did encounter Bigfoot, which is why many scholars believe that this is the source of the story of TR riding Sasquatch up San Juan Hill with the Rough Riders. Of course, this is apocryphal, and in actuality, I'm afraid TR did his best to hunt Bigfoot to extinction, as seen here in this newly discovered photo. But, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, what about other U.S. presidents, Rob? I mean, probably some of them have had strange proclivities, don't you think? Well, that may be true. And in fact, it is true because we here at the BRO have uncovered some new photographic evidence of questionable behaviors of some of our greatest leaders. For example, Washington liked to go into the future to defend freedom out of guilt, probably from, all that mess he created way out at Fort Necessity when he was a kid. And then FDR, before instituting the WPA and the rest of that alphabet soup, he had a Transformer suit created to fight the Great Depression. Now, Ronald Reagan decided the best way to defend against communism was to go back in time and root out the prehistoric beginnings of that evil empire. And here he is on his faithful velociraptor, Guernica. Of course, when word got out about this, Teddy, not to be outdone, went back in time too and tamed a big dinosaur and got an even bigger machine gun than Ronnie had.
That's T-Rex, right?
That is T-Rex, yeah.
Okay.
TR on T-Rex.
With small hands.
Exactly, very
Yeah.
small hands. Yeah.
We won't go there. We won't go
No,
there.
no. Teddy's hands were a little small, kind of like T-Rex. And then George W. Bush, well, he simply liked to jump out of Air Force One on the back of a great white shark for no particular discernible reason. And then there's my personal favorite, Thomas Jefferson. He liked to beat the tar out of mountain gorillas. He probably thought they were Federalists or something. So there you have it. Not all the presidents were normal, so to speak. And of course, all the exploits of these gentlemen, nothing compared to this guy.
Which is why we persist.
Indeed.
Good job,
So,
Rob.
yeah,
Very good.
right.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Good curating.
Yeah, thank you. Well, yeah, it's a little, I don't know. This kind of, I got a little outraged like many people this year. And
I voted for Ralph Nader again, which is it's kind of my thing. But
not a wrong answer. Not a wrong answer.
In this state, no.
So anyway, these are the times that try men's souls. So here's one to help you get through it. For the far too many fallen at Chancellorsville. For the far too many fallen at Cedar Creek. For the far too many fallen at Gettysburg, who gave the last full measure to end slavery. For the far too many fallen in each war since, who gave the last full measure for our creed. For we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all are created equal and free. Let the bugle blow, let freedom ring, let us all bow our heads and sing, and remember why we marched and died on this last Monday in May, on this Memorial Day. For the far too many mauled at Birmingham, beaten and gassed from Selma to Montgomery. For the far too many shot down at Harlem and Memphis, who gave save the last full measure for a dream. Let the bugle blow, let freedom ring. Let us all bow our heads and sing, and remember why they marched and died on this last Monday in May, on this Memorial Day. On this last Monday in May, in Minneapolis, George Floyd was killed face down in the street. Yet another of far too many black Americans, neath the knee of racist brutality. So let the bugle blow, let freedom ring. Let us all together join and sing. Far too many have marched and died. From now on this last Monday in May, from now on this Memorial Day, yes, let the bugle blow for Michelle Clouseau, Eric Garner, Michael Brown, and Ezel Ford. Joseph Mann, Freddie Blue, Sandra Bland, Trayvon Martin, Justin Howell, and thousands more. My God, thousands more. Enough, enough, enough. The time is now. Black Lives Matter. Enough, enough. Don't we know by now? Black Lives Matter. Thanks, guys.
Wow. It's been quite a year and it's not over. Here's another ecologically driven tune referencing an area where Bigfoot has been sighted the most, according to the those who are dedicated sufficiently. Out in the hinterlands of Jersey, well, I bet you did not know that when the moonbeams over sugar sands glow like a dream you may have had before, coppercat, the cranberries, the wells are all water cold. Everybody, they dog the Garden State, and their ample governor, yeah, he liked to shut things down. But the Jersey Devil, he got the governor's campfire. Single malted arguments resounded, though neither one would win the other over. They shed their skin by morning, they were found wandering the pine barrens. And they lead you down, we're all pining for clean water. Find the bog mines of the pine barrens. The wells are all water cold. Pine barrens, let me lead you down, we're all pining for clean water. With me, we'll be sharing the pine barrens. The wells are all water cold.
It's one of my favorites of yours, Dave.
Oh, thank you. I have to go. I had to move my computer around, and now it's low. I will be right back. I apologize. I
Okay.
will be right back. It was in the basement, and it wasn't working out, so I'll be right back.
It's no worries. I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. A kid. I'm kidding. Okay. Wow. So during a time like this, you know, when it's 2020 and stuff's really intense, I grew up in the 60s and I thought, what would my heroes do with the 60s folk heroes? I started to think about what Phil Oakes would do, you know, and I thought, I'm going to write a ballad like Phil Oakes would do. This one's called Jeffrey Toobin. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. To the three of you who are out there watching, you can Google that. Okay. All right. Are there any questions about that? Just kidding. All right. Here we go. Whoa. So I was freaked out before this show, which is not unusual, but this was extra freak out. And for most of for a while, because I knew the show was coming. And I thought back in history, historians will remember this date, of November of 2004. Folk fans may remember that hallowed event at Club Passim. The Rob Lawrence Experience was the featured headline that night. It was the first Wednesday in November. And the opener was a young, fresh-faced kid named Lloyd Thayer. And we were very excited about the show, and then the election happened. So there we were, and it was 24 hours later, and we heard George Bush Jr. -2. And to say that it was depressing that night, I think we had about 20 people in the crowd and 16 people attempted suicide. Luckily, there was a medic on hand, and it was one of the grimmest nights of music ever to be performed in Cambridge, Massachusetts. So I thought, wow, like, you know what I mean? Just do the math. So I was very scared. And here we are. So I'm going to play you an instrumental song now. Oh, I also want to say, before I end this, that I'm wearing a tie tonight. I'm going to hold it up to the microphone. It's a tie that was given to me by Abby's mom. And I just wanted to thank her This is probably one of the only times I'm going to wear it to a Zoom funeral on Monday, but I wanted to make sure that I wore it and paid it homage tonight. So here we go. This is an instrumental song, and its working title is just 2020.
That's beautiful, Lord.
Yeah, very contemplative.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's really new.
sort of just
Yes.
an improvisation that I'm working on. So I thought, why not play something new?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
No.
It's beautiful. All right. Well, now we've reached a time in our show that we like to call Unbelievable Facts from the New York Times. Very nice. Okay. A Trump presidential memoir would likely sell millions of copies. These are all things that were printed by the New York Times. But publishers fear that their staff members could revolt if they sign him, and that his book would test the limits of fact-checking and accuracy. What do
Rather
you think
daunting.
about that, Dave? Right? In the Times Magazine, Jonathan Mahler argues that Trump will soon present the country with a historic dilemma. An ex-president with substantial criminal liability. I'm going to get the popcorn out for that one, I think. Rudy Giuliani asked the Trump campaign to pay him $20,000 a day for legal work challenging the election results. Campaign said that. I think it might be the only time I've ever respected a decision that Donald Trump made. On February 27, 2020, you may remember this, Trump said about the coronavirus, it's going to disappear. One day, like a miracle, it will disappear. But of course, as of today, 90,000 Americans, the most to date, are in the hospital with COVID-19, and more than 100,000 have died from the coronavirus. And according to the Washington Post, Trump has made more than 22,000 untrue or inaccurate statements over the course of his presidency. So, I don't know about you, but for me, January 20th can't come soon enough. So, the only way out of this mess, if you ask me, is to let science fiction give way to, I don't know, science, to facts, to love and kindness. This is a new song about that. Well, the Buddha, he wore flannel as he came rolling into town, riding the rails of an old boxcar like he was glory bound. He hopped down and dusted off as the rattler slowed up at the bend. Picked up his pack, tied his hair back, not knowing how this would end. Greedy old Dan Tucker was washing his money in his frying pan when he saw the Buddha walking right across his well-staked land. Dan ran outside, fit to be tied down the walk past his wagon wheel. A mumbling grump, stumbling over stumps, hobbling on aching heels. These old eyes of mine, well, they've seen joy and pain, traveling through this troubled world in the gently falling rain. They've seen the sun break through the eye of a hurricane. An amazing grace when spring comes round again. Dan yelled, "Hey there, young ne'er-do-well, you're on private property." What Dan saw when it came upon him, well, Dan could not believe. The Buddha in his high-top sneakers, 6 inches off the ground, walking along, singing a song without touching down. Well, dumbstruck there stood Dan, knowing the charges they would not stand. The Buddha wasn't trespassing, 'cause he wasn't actually on Dan's land. Dan sat down upon the ground, and out came years of tears. When the storm had passed, the Buddha asked Dan, "What is it that you fear?" This old heart of mine has felt both joy and pain, traveling through this troubled world in the steady driving rain. It's felt the sun break through the eye of a hurricane. Amazing grace when love comes round again. The Buddha poured from his thermos and read Mad Magazine, while old man Dan tried again and again to walk like he had seen. No matter how he tried and tried, on his ass Dan did fall flat. Till at last Dan finally asked, "Just how do you do that?" "Just take each step with wonder," laughed the Buddha gently. "Be ready to help another, blind to riches, race, or creed. Take what you need, give away the rest, then ye shall float free. Like the birds up there flying through the air, the fish swimming in the sea. These old souls of mine, they've known both joy and pain, traveling through this troubled world in the howling wind and rain. It's beheld the sun break through the eye of a hurricane. Amazing grace when hope comes round again." Well, the Buddha, he wore flannel as he went rolling out of town, riding the rails in an old boxcar like he was Satori bound. He hopped up and dusted off as the rattler sped up at the bend. Set down his pack, pulled out a snack, not knowing how this would end. Thanks, guys.
Well, I'm going to try this one. It's kind of new, and I might... The bridge is kind of tough. I may mangle it, but what the hell. This might be one of the few safe spaces given the climate. Come along to this Anthropocene in its twilight. Oh, we give it our all, I suppose. Far away from equilibrium, the angle of repose. You know the methane's ascending, but the feedback snowballs down. Give me a little shelter from this fuming town. So I'm moving up to Duluth. The water's wide. Moving up to Duluth. See you on the other side. They got superior refrigeration. That big old pond swallows all the heat. Ice flows surround distilleries, but they harvested most of the peat. They got a counterweighted bridge rising up to the air. Vessels slip beneath without a care. Moving up to Duluth, the water is wide in Duluth. See you on the other side. Moving up to Duluth, I'm just another climate migrant, kicking the carbon down the road. I am the fire, I am the hydrant. Back in '93, we were weaving through Duluth, headed up north, looking for the Indian rice sold by the road, the bulky sword. A girl at the curb, appearing to linger. I waved her through, she barked at me, and she gave me the finger. Lakes got nothing on Duluth. It's cold, cold as March. And up here in Duluth, we got golf balls for stars. Moving up to Duluth, the migrants are going global, kicking it all down the road. The merchants, the serfs, the moguls. Oh, thank you, Molly.
It's beautiful, Dave.
Boy.
Beautiful.
So we got one more tune, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you still there, Lloyd?
I am. I'm here. It's really dangerous for me to be at home because
Yeah, I know
I just
you mean.
like in the middle of that I thought, oh shit, do I have time to tune the sitar?
Or the banjo?
Yeah.
Not the banjo.
And
Yeah.
then the sitar, I haven't changed the string since
Right.
ever.
Too
So
many options. There's too many
Yeah.
options at home.
It
Yeah.
is. It's
Yeah.
just potentially lethal. So, yeah, this is it. And then I'm going to light myself on fire, which is good since I'm at home. I do want to say thank you to Matt Smith. Let's give him a virtual round
Yeah.
of applause.
Yeah, and Abby, yeah,
And Abby Altman for
Yeah.
their technical help tonight.
yeah.
They assure us that they're watching from backstage, but they're really watching reruns of Welcome Back, Kotter on their Kindles. So anyway, I want to thank them. I want to thank Club Passim for having us and trying to stay alive all this time. I want to thank you for tuning in and watching, if you are watching, and even if you're not. I want to thank my two cohorts in the upper parts of the screen, Rob Lawrence and Dave Dersham.
Thank you, Lloyd.
Thank you both for being here. Really a treat to listen to you both. So I think that's pretty much all I have to say. I think. And this will be the first time I've ever performed this song in a tie. So I'm going to go for this. This is a Run DMC song. And we're going to do it on the harmonica in the key of E.
Hard times spreading just like the flu. You know I caught it, baby, just like you. Prices go up and the dollar go down. You got me falling, baby, to the ground. Turn around, get ready, and check out the clock. We'll be on point for the future, shot hard town. Yeah, hard times, people, all the planet. Times are hard, you know they're hard as granite. Hard time will come, baby, to your town. You better get ready, cause we're gonna fall down. Hard time, I got my pocket all in chains. I tell you what, you can't change my brain. I'll ever reach my peak. I need that dollar every day of the week. Hard time. Hard times ain't nothing, baby. No, I mean. Gonna use my strong mentality. Like the cream of the crop and the crop of the cream. Beating hard times, it is my dream. Hard time. Hard time. Hard time. Hard times in life. Hard times in death. Gonna keep on fighting till my very last breath. Hard time. Hard time.
Bless you, Lloyd. That was
I love that
brilliant, man.
segue into the different melody.
Just brilliant.
Yeah. It's ethereal.
Yeah, well, just like Lloyd said, thanks to Matt, thanks to Abby, thanks to everybody at Club Passim, and thanks to everybody for tuning in and checking out the Bigfoot show this year. We really appreciate it. Hope to see you again in person
Right.
next year.
Next
Inshallah.
year is going to be a 4-hour show if we make it to.
Yeah, pretty much.
To make up for
Pretty
the
much.
show.
It's going to be a whole weekend, maybe. Go in shifts.
Well, I learned a lot tonight. I learned a lot tonight, and I appreciate you all, and thank you all very much. What I want to know is, what is the effects pedal that turns your sound into a haunted carnival?
It changed the key somehow, or I don't know what it did.
I can't tell you that. I'd have to kill you. But
Right.
I feel like it's a
There
pedal
are-
I've seen before where it makes a guitar sound like an organ.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
2 of them.
So it
That's-
turns a
that's the
guitar
rub.
into an organ and then back to a guitar again. It's sort of like going through Google Translate and sending it to another
And back
language and
again.
then back to English again.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Usually I charge between 15 and 20 an hour for this. But anyway, so the pedal is, there's 2 pedals. One of them is by Electro Harmonics. It's called a Micro Pog, P-O-G. So if I play like this, and I step on the Pog, it's giving me
Haunted Carnival.
octaves. It's giving me octave above and octave below.
Very
so it's giving me
magisterial.
octave. Then the second pedal is, this one's a chorus vibrato pedal. Any company will do. This one happens to be made by BBE. It's kind of noisy. I don't get any financial stuff on this, so whatever. And so here's the
Not
the
getting any
warble.
kickback on that.
So that's the
Nice.
vibrato.
Yep.
So then when you put them
Very
together,
effective.
It kind of sounds like you're at Fenway,
it does. It's a
but
little, yeah.
you're in the bleachers and you've had a few too many.
Yeah.
And
Hours of fun.
To go in to turn this into the post show symposium, like Dave earlier was saying about like that song to Duluth. I was having people ask me what you were saying, and there was to the Louvre, but like I'm going to move up to the Louvre, or I'm going to move up to Lou, and so it was just like, I loved every answer. And then Abby said, like, it's to Duluth, you idiot. And I'm like, oh,
Well, one person got it right.
fair enough. Someone's actually paying attention to the show. Well, and on that, everyone, please make sure you donate at passim.org/stream.
Thank you for
a
coming
suggested
by.
donation. Absolutely. Thank you all for tuning in and being part of this thing that we do every year, the Saturday
Amen.
after Thanksgiving. And we've been doing it for longer than any of us actually knows.
It's true.
That's fair enough.
True fact.
That's fair enough.
True fact. You'd think there'd be a way to look that up, and yet somehow, like Bigfoot, it is elusive.
You know,
In
That's
the,
right.
in the
The
words of
footprints have just disappeared in the trail.
in the words of Betsy Siggins, we're a folk club.
And on that, thank you all for tuning in. We'll be
Thank
back
you.
tomorrow live from Club Passim at 6 p.m. with Sawari. And we'll be back with this again. Mark the dates on your calendar for the Saturday after Thanksgiving 2021. And by God, we'll be in the room by then.
Amen.
All right,
Inshallah.
folks.
Thanks again.
I looked up the date. It's the 27th. So, 27th. So just throw that out there. The
Whatever.
tickets should be up for that this week, right,
They're
Matt?
on sale now.
Yeah, okay.
They're on sale now.
and they're like gold.
They're
They
not
accrue
on sale
value.
now.
Yeah,
They're not on
yeah,
sale.
they're not. No. But they do accrue value.
They do. They're $20 now.
Right.
By
If you have
November,
a, if you have a ticket from the original show, you can cash it in for.
if you have like an unstamped ticket from any of the other years, it's still valid. It's like a forever stamp.
Pretty much. Or if you have
Thanks. Yes, Rob, please finish the thought.
I was just gonna it's like if you got a rubber stamp, or if you have a plaster cast, just that'll get you in for free too.
Yeah, of anything.
Of anything.
Of anything. Yeah. Let's not limit that.
All right.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
All right.